In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can take this entire module and set it so that the students have to go through each thing in sequential order and have specific requirements before the next thing will unlock. So, once you're in your course and at your module, notice the three dots over here. We're going to tap those and we're going to choose to edit. And so let's take a look at what we have. First of all, you can lock your module until a certain date. So if you don't want it to be available to the students, you can lock it. And let's say we want to open it up Monday morning at 8 a.m. So we can set that here. So I'll put it for April the 20th, and we'll put in 8 o'clock a.m. and tap done, and that way we can go ahead and have the module published, but it won't show anything for the students until 8 a.m. on April the 20th. Now, we have different things within our module that we want the students to do, and there's different kinds of items. So I'm going to add a requirement. We want the students to complete the requirements, all of them. And we want to mark that they must move through them in sequential order. So I'm going to check that box. Now, I did tap Add Requirement, and it gives you two drop-down menus. So we want them to come and complete all of the requirements. So don't click this little radial button, because it says students must complete one of these requirements. We don't want them to do just one thing in the module. We want them to do all the things in the module. So we're going to look at the first thing in our module, and everything is listed in the order that it comes in the module. So it makes it easy for you to just set what you need to set. So we're just going to go ahead, and the first one is going to be our instructions. I'm going to add another requirement and set it for the second thing, and add a requirement and set it for the third thing, add a requirement and set it for the fourth thing, add a requirement and set it for the last thing. So this list of things are in this order in the module. And so that's all I've done, is I've added the requirements and I've set everything in the order of the module that it comes. Now, if you notice, we have another drop-down menu. So we can set, what do we want the students to do with this item? So this Delta Math Instructions, you can see, is a page. There's really not anything they can do other than view the item, but they can also mark it as done, and I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. The next thing we have is the quiz. So for quizzes, you can set it so that they have to score at least a certain grade before the next thing opens. So I'm going to say they have to make at least a 70 on that quiz in order for the next thing to unlock. Now, I want to make a note about setting scores for quizzes. If you have set a quiz so that they have to score at least a certain grade, you're going to want to set your quiz settings so that they have multiple chances in order to make that grade. If you don't have it set for them to have multiple chances, then they're going to have to contact you for you to give them another chance each time. And you might want that, but you might not. So make sure that whatever you set for your quizzes, that you do have it so that you have it multiple times. Now, if you decide you just want them to submit the quiz and they only get one chance, then you would want them to submit the assignment. And then that will just give them, they take the quiz, they submit it, and that's it. They don't get multiple chances. So it's just up to you whether you want to set it so that they take the quiz or they get to do it over and over until they make a certain grade. So the next thing is a PowerPoint. And so we want to make sure that the students are viewing the item. That's really the only thing that they can do with that PowerPoint file. Okay, the next thing, you can see the video assignment is in an assignment. So we want to make sure that they actually do submit the assignment. Now, if you notice, there is a score at least. Well, since it's an assignment, they will not get a score until you go in and grade it. So they will be waiting for you to give them a score before the last thing in the module unlocks. And you might not want them to have to wait on you. So simply submitting the assignment is enough to unlock it. And then the last thing, we have a link to a Flipgrid. You can see that is an external tool, so that's an external link. And so for that one, the only thing they can do is view the item, which it's the last thing in the module anyway. So we have everything set for our module. We have it set to unlock at a certain time. We have it set so that they have to actually go in sequential order and do exactly what you want them to do before the next thing unlocks. So I'm going to update the module, and we're going to relock the modules because the students haven't done anything yet, because I've kept everything unpublished until now. So if you notice, I have the whole module published. Everything in the module is published, but it will unlock on the morning of April the 20th. So let's see what this looks like as a student. Since I'm on the home screen, I have the student view button. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to look at my module. And you can see that there's a lock there. You can see that it shows them when it will unlock. I want you to notice underneath the titles, and it's very faint, but you can still see it. It tells you exactly what the students have to do to be able to unlock the next thing. And so the students know ahead of time what they need to do. Now, if they don't know what it means to mark it done, if you notice over here, there are little dots. If they have completed the requirement, there will be a green check in the dot. So since it doesn't just say view, they actually have to come over here after they have viewed it and actually tap on that dot and mark that they have done it. So it's not just a view only, like this one for view. Once they open it, bam, it marks it as it's complete, and then it unlocks the next thing. This will not unlock the next item until they actually submit. If you also notice, the first thing that I've put in my module is a text header, and it gives them some information. So this might be something good for you to put in there if they're not familiar with how everything unlocks. So basically, I've told them, students, you must complete each item in order. You will notice under each title what you need to do in order to unlock the next item. If it says view, make sure to actually read the information. If it says mark complete, make sure you have done what you're supposed to do before you mark it complete. If it says submit assignment, the next item in the module will not unlock until you submit your assignment. Please put forth your best effort. So I didn't specifically say you had to tap the dot to mark it complete, so maybe I need to go in and edit and include that. But if you've done this with your students before, they'll know how to do that. So hopefully this helps you get your module ready so that you don't have to actually go in and manually publish your entire module. It'll just do it for you, and it will keep everything in order.